Hello, everyone. This is Old Man David coming to you. Now, I'm sitting at the computer, and there's lots of stuff that's on my mind. And I want to say happy MLK Day to everyone out there. I hope that everyone's having a great day. This is only in the United States that we celebrate MLK, even though maybe recognized in other parts of the world. We are the ones that celebrate it. We have good reason to do it. But I'm finding out I've got lots of fans out there, lots more than what shows on YouTube. It goes pretty big on other networks. You just post it, repost it. There's people out there. I have ways of tracking all this. And I like to do this live and try to keep it short, but it's hard to keep it underneath 15 minutes. See, I'm used to talking in front of a large group, expressing myself, so I'm able to talk to crowds for long periods of time. Used to be, I would think that it would not take that much to go for a long time, but now I realize it takes that much not to go for a long time. Then I'm going to talk to you about something that is destroying the United States of America. I recognized this back when I was just a little child, about 6 or 7 years old. You see, there is a balance that has to happen with everything in your life. You got to balance out things just right. I mean, try doing a budget without it balancing out. You don't want to be in the red. You don't want to be in the black. You want it to balance just right. Because if it doesn't balance and you got too much in the black, well, then you got excess there that you don't know what to do with. And when you try to do it, all you do is accumulate things that you don't need. And to the point to where you become what? A hoarder? Yes. Lots of people that has a lot of excess of other things will find them in different parts of the United States owning this or saying they own that. That's the other thing. You don't never really own anything in the United States. You're only led to believe that you do, but you don't own anything in the United States. Just like any communistic society, it's the government that owns everything, not you. You say, no, well, I own this land, I own that, I own this. You slip up one little way, and the government come in and take it in a heartbeat. Or if you're in the way of a government entity of any kind, they'll push you out of the way and take it anyway. You have no choice in it. And you say, well, they'll give me fair market value. No, they'll give you fair market value based on what they say it is, not what you say it is. So, do you own anything? No. The only thing you own is the skin that you walk in, and that's it. Everything else is owned by the United States here. The government, some way or another, owns it all. Which brings me to another little thing. I want to explain something to you. Birds take and they build their nests in many different ways in many different areas. Some in trees, some on the ground, some in the ground, some upon the water, some different ways. But they build their nest. We are no different than the birds. We build our nest in many different ways. We call it our house, our home, regardless if it's mobile or fixed into one place. We build our homes, but there are certain conditions we have to meet in order to build these homes. And the first one is, and you would think that it is paycheck. And paycheck has nothing to do with it because there are banks that will finance to get something like this done. You pay for it to get financed. You have to pay them back. You don't pay them back, they're going to take it from you. But you can get it financed. But the first thing that every bank's going to do is see if you can get insurance. Because if you can't get insurance on your home, on what you're owning, where you're at, well, then the banks ain't going to finance it for you. Think about this, people. Ever since we've been living in America, we've always wanted some type of insurance to ensure that we're going to be safe. That's the whole reason why for nesting the way we are. We want to be safe. Birds up in the trees want to be safe from the predators on the ground. When the predators can climb up the tree, it scares the birds. They bury their things in their nest in the ground, and they're there until something comes along that tells them they're not safe. Insurance. There is no such thing as insurance. Let me give a mic. There is no such thing as insurance. You can't insure something because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Insurance is nothing more than a numbers game. You get 1,000,000 people to pay me $10 each and every month. I will take and I will insure their home. Okay, that's $10, $10 million a month that I'm going to get each and every month for the next year. That's $120 million each and every year. But this is the thing. Insurance rely on what's called a percentage of homes failing or cars failing or things going wrong to where they have to meet the burden and pay out for that insurance. And this percentage is anywhere from 5 to 10% what they take in. 10% of 120 million is a little bit over $12 million, right? So at $120 million they collected, they got to pay 12 million. Bingo, they got $100 million back, and this fluctuates at 10%. But people, think about this: when you playing a numbers game, there's going to come a time when those numbers are above 10%, above 20%, you still survive. Above 30%, you still survive. But when it gets above 40%, you lose. And so you have to pay out an exorbitant amount of money just to keep everything from taking all your money away. Because you might get another put back and save for it. All of a sudden, you putting out more than what you could have taken in each and every month. So you're losing profit. And that's fine. But when it happens year after year after year, Eventually, the insurance company's going to say, well, we can't do that no more. We're losing money. That's not a good bet anymore, so we're not going to do that. How many people live in an area where insurance say, okay, we'll insure your home, but we won't insure against wind damage or floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, or we're not going to insure you at all. You don't make enough money. Or they'll say, okay, we'll insure you as long as you got enough money to replace what they're insuring. If you ain't got enough money to replace it, they're not going to insure you. But that's not insurance. Insurance is supposed to say they insure that what they're wanting to protect you from will always be there. You can't do that. That's trying to predict the future. But people play this and it's a numbers game. They play the odds are they're going to win. It's like you going out to Vegas and say you're going to win enough money to where you're going to own all of Vegas. No, you're not going to do that because the odds are against you. There is no such thing as insurance. Let me tell you what insurance has done. And I'm going to start with the automobile. Kids going through school, they buy their first car and they get the insurance for it. And they think that now I've got a license and I'm good to drive. Don't worry about it. If I make a mistake, the insurance will take care of it. And that's their sentimentality, is that the insurance will take care of them, not them. I could drink and drive. Don't worry, my insurance will take care of me. No, eventually your insurance won't protect you or take care of you. In the meantime, you've created a habit of driving a certain way, and that's the wrong thing to do. If every person out there driving a car knew that they did something wrong, they were going to have to pay for it. That there was no such thing as insurance. Obeying the laws would be the top of your priority when it comes to driving. Period. Now, a child might think, well, I can still do that. Don't worry about it. My parents would take care of me. No, because parents think, well, if the child is driving and they get into an accident, hurt something, do something wrong with their car, the child should have to pay for it. The parents cannot be the insurance. You have to own up to it and realize that through insurance, who that has created all these land magnets and all these financial institutions, all these businesses, all these banks is insurance that's doing it. There is no such thing as insurance. And if you go on that assumption that there is no such thing as insurance, even though you say, well, you got to have it to drive, you got to have it to have a home, you got to have it do this, you got to have it do that, it doesn't make no difference what you got to have. You still got to pay it out, but there is no such thing as insurance. If you don't believe me, next people throughout California that's lost their home through the rain and floods, landslides, fire, and all like that. How many of them has got their homes taken care of? Check throughout the South where the tornadoes and windstorms and hurricanes has come. How many people are still trying to put back to pieces because the insurance is not there? Where you say the United States government, FEMA can come in and help. No, they can't. Why? They're gonna feed you for 2 or 3 days and then you're gonna be hungry and you still ain't got nothing done? There is no such thing as insurance. And the moment we realize it and recognize this, that only reason why we get it is because of a dictatorship that's telling us to do this, well, then we will realize that we're living in a communistic society. You vote for who you put in there. That's so you vote doesn't make any difference who goes up there. They all find out. They don't run America. They don't make the laws of the land. They don't do this and do that. There's lots of infighting and backbiting throughout our government. Yeah, we got insurance for that? I don't think so, people. But come on, let's get real. We know the truth about all this. We just don't want to admit it. The only security we have is the security in ourselves. There is no such thing as insurance. I can't believe that people still think that the government and insurance is going to take care of them day after day after day. Come on, let's get real. This old man David. Y'all have a good holiday. Bye bye.